Hi Darren, it's Sunday, June 26, 2011, and I'm getting ready to take your shifter cart apart to ship to you. So here's one last look before it comes apart. These big sheets here are the double wall cardboard that I picked up 4 by 8 feet to make a custom carton. So I think I'll sit in it one last time. Fits me great. Wish I could have driven it though. Never did. I did drive the clutch carts 1 or 2 times at Reno. Oh, this is going to be a blast. You'll have a lot of fun. Okay, so next step is to put it up on the lift and take the wheels off, take the bodywork off. Got to take the steering column off, shorten that down, and take the rear bumper off and the rear axle assembly out. So here we go. So now I'll put it up on the lift and start taking it apart. Okay, well, I'm getting ready to take the bodywork off now. It's lined up to the lift. I'm going to put it on the 2 arms there. So let's pull the bodywork off. These should come off with screw clamps for the nose. And then the side pods just slip off. Pull the pin in the back. Pull the pin. Okay, that's the body work. Now let's put it up on the lift. Okay. All right, now we'll raise the lift up a bit. Okay, that'll make it easier to work on. Pull the front wheels, just loosen or remove the axle nut, and the wheels come off. And the rears, of course, are 3-bolt. Okay, wheels and tires off. Most of the body work off except for the front panel. And so now I think I'll remove the front panel and the steering column. That will be the next step. Okay, next step, now that the wheels and tires and the body works off, I'm going to remove the front panel. So I've already loosened the nuts, so I'll just take this nut off the front of the nose panel, and then this nut here where the steering shaft goes through the frame there, and then we tap this out. And that's all there is to that for that front panel. And then for the steering column, there's one more nut at the bottom of the steering column, the size where the bolt went through the frame. And then there's a special little kind of a clip that goes on there. Got the clutch cable attached here and the steering arms. So what I might do is just take the steering wheel off and then tie wrap this all down low so that it gets below the frame to keep the shipping carton low, and I'll take the shift lever off. So, but I'll probably just tie wrap this all down with the wheel off to make it compact for shipping, but leave it all connected down here. Okay, next step, take the steering wheel off and the shifter lever off. Okay, now we've moved to the back end. We've got to take the rear bumper off to shorten up because the frame ends here and the bumper has this much length, so can make a much shorter carton. I've already kind of loosened everything up once, but just to show you how this comes off, you got two big nuts in the back here. And then your bar comes off. And I've already removed the second nuts that were here, just to make it a little easier for the video, but there's a second nut you got to take off, and then a couple of washers, second nut, a couple of washers, and then you'll need like a rubber mallet is what I needed to kind of then pound this off. Rear bumpers take a lot of abuse on the track, you know, and sometimes the rear bumper can be a hassle to get off. Okay, rear bumper off. And then the studs that come out, if you remember, Darren, they actually bind up and tighten up inside here. And so to get these out and actually to put it back in, you have to put two nuts on. Put one nut on and another nut and tighten it together, and then you can loosen this thing, actually go that way, turn to the right, and it'll loosen the bind up inside, and then this, you'll be able to then wiggle this thing out, which I've already done it once. So there. So you can see this is a bolt head, and then that bushing, and then the bolt. So when you tighten up this thing, it squeezes this kind of hard plastic bushing inside the frame, and that's what keeps it in place. So So that's that. Same thing over here. So there's that one. I had already taken out and loosened it up once, so it'll go easy back together pretty quickly now. Okay, that's the rear bumper. So now we've shortened the cart up as much as possible, frame to frame, and now I'm going to take the whole rear axle assembly out. Not just sliding the axle out, which would be a lot of work because you've got to slide them through all these bushings, and that's a big hassle. So I'm going to loosen the 3 bolts at every bearing, so that's 9 bolts, and then the whole assembly will lift out. And I'll have to swing this seat strut out of the way. So I'll get started on that now. It's Wednesday, June 29th, and I've got the shipping carton now ready to load everything else. I've got the cart in there, and show you what it looks like. So I've got the cart, gas tank, some parts, the axle assembly, and then the bodywork's got to go in here. Something like this. Well, at any rate, I'm going to get the bodywork all in there so it's lower than the top, and check the weight again. It's only about 100, I think 100 pounds right now, maybe 110, so I can maybe put a little more in. I've got 1 spare axle in there, and but as you can see, all this other stuff is going to go in other boxes. Your driver's bag, the engine, spare parts, the drac unit in the red box. Those are the regular wheels and tires, spare wheels and tires, rain tires, spare parts, extra set of wheels, the original bodywork, the new bodywork. So now I'm going to get this packed up and ready to put the top on, and then get it shipped UPS ground. So the next step is to get this all packed and sealed up. Well, the final packing is done. Got everything in here now, and I've got the weight right about 135 or so, maybe a little more. I put a scale under each end and add it up. So it's all the new body work, 1 set of the wheels and tires, and these are mainly just empty boxes to take up space so that things can't move around. So now I'll put the top on, just one last test time.